I come in peace. Well, everybody, welcome back to Orange Hat. I'm here to bring you the last theme stream of the year because we are getting into Christmas and New Year's. And a wonderful thing, coincidentally, when I rewatched this film after quite a long time, I found out it takes place during Christmas. So it was kind of interesting when it's like, Christmas trees. This dude's listening to Christmas music in the beginning of the movie. Oh my lord. So yeah, this was kind of fun to watch and relearn that. Hey, how you doing, Darth Zathra? Good to see you. Good to see you. So yeah. Also, folks, tonight at 8 p.m. on Jade Shadow's channel, me and Mara are going to be discussing Home Alone 2. Lost in New York. And then Thursday, we will be discussing Scrooged exclusively on X at 8 o'clock. So, oh, and before I do get started on this thing, if you want to support my channel and help get me back up to 1,600, apparently I lost 6 subscribers yesterday. I got a couple of them back, but I need to get back, or I need to get 4 more back, so I'm back above 1,600. So if you guys all want to help me out, that is the best way to do it. Liking my video, subscribing to the channel, costs nothing. And yeah, so let's get into this movie. So I Come in Peace, also known as let's see here, I forgot to add the overlay. The last overlay. Whoops. So hold on there, folks. There we go. So yeah, I knew this movie as Come in Peace, but also it is known as Dark Angel. Now, from what I understand, the movie was changed from the name Dark Angel to I Come in Peace for reasons that there were 2 other movies entitled The Dark Angel from 1925 and 1935. So they didn't want any confusion. Now, this was all done in the United States, and this movie stars Dolph Lundgren, as you can see, and Brian Benben. So let's get this. And Matthias Hughes as the bad alien. This guy here. I gotta say, he did very well in this movie. Them playing aliens. Jay Malas, or Jay Silas, Jay Bilas, rather, Balas, played the good alien. You don't know who's who. There's a couple of editing faux pas in this where they reused a couple shots, like the good alien coming to Earth when he arrives. Where he's looking down at somebody, and they reused that earlier in the film. So where he's looking down at the guy, or at the woman who witnesses his entrance on Earth. But this movie starts with a guy who's listening to Christmas music, and his CD is forced out of his CD player. So that's like a foreshadow of what's to come with how the evil alien, played by Matthias Hughes, has a weapon in which he can shoot magnetic discs that are actually programmed to the electromagnetic field given off by humans, which is pretty gnarly when you think about it. And you don't know what this guy is up to. He keeps on saying, I come in peace, but yet he goes around killing people. He steals a bunch of heroin from some bad guys who just got done stealing it from the police station. And Dolph Lundgren is a cop who has to unfortunately team up with a Fed to find out what's going on. And they get caught up literally in the middle of a cops and robber chase, or cops and robbers on a galactic scale. This movie also stars Betsy Brantley, who played Diane in this film. A love interest to Dolph Lundgren's character. Now, this guy goes around with this interesting contraption where he injects them with heroin in the heart, giving them a fatal overdose. But the endorphins it creates, he then uses this this hand spike thing right here to extract from the brain pure endorphins, which on his planet is called Blarcy. And he's basically an addict to this stuff. And his gun, which is shown right here and also on this shot, because they get the good aliens gun, which is the same type of gun. These guns are capable of doing some major damage. And I like the sequence. The story is kind of absolutely ridiculous, but it's absolutely fun as well. Dolph Lundgren does a good job. His partner gets killed due to the fact that the guy he's going after has people in the department who can identify them as cops, and causes a bunch of problems, but then he flees off to Rio. It has great chases. It has good cop contacts, basically people who work outside of the normal avenues of doing the business of a cop. And one of them is a scientist who's working on caffeine enhancement and whatnot. And this dude literally has like extra caffeinated coffee. And when he's helping out Dolph Lundgren and Agent Smith, yes, Agent Smith is the other guy's name. Let's see here. Oh, I should also put that up. But yeah, that's Agent Smith on the right. I love that too. I mean, there's a scene that absolutely is the most hilarious with Agent Smith. But he's looking at both of them. He turns around and this scientist guy just screams, just like yells out like, "Ah!" And then he turns around. He's like, "Extra caffeine." Still working on it. I mean, it's just, and then he's like, "Who's your friend?" And this is Agent Smith. Agent. Oh shit, he's a Fed, and he just starts scraping a bunch of caffeine pills into a drawer. This movie, folks, it has the most ridiculous story, the funniest acting and whatnot, but in there is a good story about a cop that gets caught up going up against an alien being. And the fight between Matthias and Dolph Lundgren, oh my God, that it was actually quite well done, because it shows that Ivan Drago has, well, his work cut out for him, you know? But this movie is also straightforward, which is another thing. It's like it's 90 minutes, so it's a straightforward movie. Let me share my screen. Share screen. No audio needed. Yeah. Which is, or this is the cast to the movie. But yeah, they go Archangel. I always knew it as I Peace, because that's also what it says in the film. When they scroll the title, "I come in peace." That's what it says. So it's like, okay, you know? And yes, I know I am streaming. But yeah, then let's see here, share that out and share that out there. But yeah, it's got a good score as well. I mean, this is the actors and stuff, the cast. Most of their faces are, oops, did not mean to do that. Big oops, big oops. Let's see if this is well, remove. And it's going to take a while to reload. Alrighty. And I still got the okie dokie. There we go. But yeah, it stars Dolph Lundgren, Brian Benben, Betsy Brantley, Matthias Hughes, Jay Bilas, Jim Haney, David Aykroyd. I wonder if that's any relationship to Dan Aykroyd. Howard Sherman as the main bad guy on Earth, and Sam Anderson, which is another one of the, I believe, bad guys. Actually, yeah, he is the main bad guy. Victor Manning, I believe, is the crony. So, but it's got a decent cast. I mean, this was back when, let's see here. What year was this? 1990. So yeah, Dolph Lundgren was gaining a little bit more, he was gaining a little bit more star power at the time. But this movie, they have exposition in it that does a really good job at explaining what is going on with it, because they're explaining that you have the power to, or whoever's doing this is basically trying to synthesize the most perfect drug for ecstasy, or that makes ecstasy essentially irrelevant, that makes anything irrelevant. Because if you can get your hands on pure endorphins and preserve it so they don't die out, essentially, yeah, you got the perfect drug. Because infusing yourself with endorphins would give you such a high. Like an ounce is like 1,000 doses, essentially, or theoretically, in this situation of these drugs. So imagine that a mere ounce is enough for 1,000 doses. You take one dose, you're riding a high that is more powerful than any drug can ever do. And this alien is basically getting it on Earth, and then he's going to take off because it's part of a drug war in space, which it's not, or they don't show too much of. They showed Jay Bilas's character, the good alien, this guy. He gets shot and injured, so before he dies, he tells Dolph and Agent Smith here the truth about it, or why the other one is here, and basically tells them it's like, if he is allowed to escape, more will come, and it will be a slaughter. Your planet will die, because they find out that, or it's a quick and easy way to get the drug. So yeah, they eventually come across and find out where this guy's hiding with these endorphins, and they manage to take the endorphins, and wow, there is a chase which is hilarious because uh Agent Smith shoots the car that the alien is driving in and causes it to roll over, crash, and is in flames and whatnot. So they stop for a second. He gets out. He's like, "Oh yeah, yeah," and then you see the alien just running out of the flames at him, and he's like, "Oh shit!" And he gets back in the car. It is one of the most. Oh my god! It is one of the most hilarious things because he's like, "Oh yeah, yeah, oh shit." I mean, holy crap, man. It was really a freaking hilarious. It is the funniest scene in the entire movie. And yes, this is a just coming off of 80s into the 90s movie. So you also do have the obligatory strip club where Dolph Lundgren goes to think and talking to his contact, in which they're wondering why is there a drug war going on between the cops and uh the white boys, as they call them. Oh my god, what a name for a drug operation, the white boys, because they deal in blow, heroin, and whatnot. So yeah, holy crap. Let's get another drink here. And Al Leong is also in this movie. Al Leong, everybody knows from Lethal Weapon, Big Trouble in Little China. I mean, he is the 80s, 90s Asian gangster, you know? He's the 80s and 90s Asian henchman that everybody knows and can never remember the name. The dude is hilarious. And so he tries skipping out on paying the white boys the drug. Hey, NB Keeks, good to see you, man. You come in peace, you go in pieces. Yeah. That is also one of the better lines in the movie, too. It's like, or because the bad guy's always saying, I come in peace, to throw people off guard. And then he says, I come in peace. And Dolph Lundgren sets up the gun all the way to max level. And he's like, and you go in pieces, asshole. And then blasts him into pieces. But I'm wondering why the good alien ends up self-destructing when the other one doesn't self-destruct when he's dying, which is kind of weird, So there are problems with the movie. There are issues with the movie. I'm not saying there isn't. I mean, this was 90s. Of course there's problems with the movie. What movie doesn't have problems back then? But it's also of better quality, too. I mean, I would have loved to have seen a sequel to this. One, like a legacy sequel today where Dolph Lundgren is retired and Brian Benben, who plays his partner, let's see here. And let's bring that up. There we go. So yeah, that I would actually love to see a sequel with these two in it because they're older and it's like, son of a bitch, these guys are back, probably with a little bit more muscle and whatnot. And have another cop basically taking over for it. And these two are like, oh my god, they're back, But yeah, I would definitely be into seeing a movie like that if they can get a story around it being like 30 odd years ago I went up against one of these things and got my ass kicked and nearly died. But it's also our weaponry has become more sophisticated due to the fact that this weaponry or its weaponry was given over to the government. So yes, there is a bit of a shadowy government part in there too, because the FBI is ready to kill Agent Smith because Agent Smith was willing to toe the line, and when he found out what they were about and that they were about to kill him, he just tosses his badge. It's like, oh, and his rule book that he went by, and it's like, oh my god, this dude completely trusted the system. This is what happens when you blindly trust the system, and it comes back on you, you know? So there is a little bit of the anti-government kind of thing that they push, but it's subtle. It's not anything that's overt like today's stuff. Hold on one second. I'm about to sneeze and I don't want to blow out your. Oh, whew. Feel better. Sorry about that, folks. But yeah, this movie is, it's definitely a good movie. There's no obligatory sex scene in it, which I am thankful for. There is a suggested scene. I mean, Dolph Lundgren and Betsy Brantley's character, or he goes to her house and she's in a robe. There's nothing further than that. After they start kissing, they cut to a different scene. So, but there is the strip club scene, so people get their flesh scenes, you know. They get their boob shots and whatnot. And it's all well and good because, well, that's what happens, you know. And I'm getting messages. I'm live. Are all good? So 1, 2. I'm live. But yeah, the and hello to Junebug, by the way. So glad that everybody is here. Whew. And I got a Discord message. What's going on? 1 second, folks. Okay, that's not important. But yeah, this movie, I do enjoy it. Um, Objectively speaking, I would put this movie at about a solid 8. Subjective, I would put it at an 8.5. There are a couple of things here and there, a little bit of inconsistencies where Dolph Lundgren is holding one gun, then they cut to another by and cut back to the scene where the gun is, and it's a totally different gun. So there's that bit of a problem. Then there's also other scenes. You gotta love the old days of unlimited ammo. Oh, yeah. Unlimited ammo. They didn't have that problem in this movie. They didn't have unlimited ammo. They had a weapon that did actually short out, that did actually stall because of ammo, I guess. And but they did have they did actually pull clips and whatnot. Dolph is such an underrated actor, or excuse me, action store. Or okay, I think he means star. And also, congratulations to Dolph Lundgren. I believe this year he did finally become a full-fledged American citizen. So yeah, um, but this movie I truly do enjoy. Moviegoer, it is definitely a 10 out of 10. I enjoy it because it's easy to understand if you know, or if you are an adult. I mean, as a kid, obviously, I saw this as a kid. Back then, the 90s were a very different time, folks, where you could watch, or where you could watch some stuff, not understand a second in, but, you know, it's a good story, so you understand the gist. And I've been choosing a lot of movies lately that I've seen when I was a kid, but under the radar films. This one definitely skirted under the radar for me. I had seen it once as a kid. It kind of not seen it since. Then a few years ago, I found it under a different name, Dark Angel, and I'm like, what? And so then I buy it, and I was like, okay, well, it's the same one. I Come in Peace, and the actors are not really, or I don't think any of the actors aside from a couple of them really had much of a career uh born out of this. Ben or Brian Benben, I think he did like a couple of or like 4 other pieces of work. I'm not sure. But Dolph Lundgren, he's the one that has been in a lot of movies. Um, Betsy Brantley, she's been in a few sitcoms and a few other movies. And the other two, they actually got a few more movies. The the director, Craig Baxley, I know that he did some of the movies of or some of the A-Team show episodes. So I know that he did a lot of the A-Team shows. Dolph Lundgren kicked cancer in the Cahoots this year. Nice. Saw Midnight Run not too long ago for the first time. It was on my list. It was worth the wait. Yep. Cool, cool, cool. Oh, sorry, folks. I got a little bit of a sniffle. But yeah, other than that, boy, this movie, it's enjoyable. You get laughs, you get like holy shit moments, you get the what the heck moments, and I do like how they explain a little bit of scientific stuff too. They actually take a little bit of the alien technology and scientifically explain it a little bit, and it's pretty interesting because they also keep it simple. Oh yeah, today I'm live because tomorrow I won't be. Tomorrow's Christmas Eve, so spending it with family. Oh, most likely going to watch Scrooged so I can discuss it Thursday. But I will also probably be on the Barroom podcast tomorrow. But tonight I will be on Mars for Home Alone 2, so we can discuss that. And then I will be on X for Thursday's discussion of Scrooged with Bill Murray. I really like that movie. I haven't seen it in many, many years, but I do know that I liked it. And I was kind of like, isn't Benicio del Toro the Ghost of Christmas Past guy? Turns out it wasn't Benicio del Toro. It was a completely different guy, although it kind of looked like Benicio del Toro. But yeah, as for this movie, though, I truly enjoyed it. It's a flawed film, but it is a good film. You know, it's one of those films that a lot of people didn't hear of until later on when they either started paying attention to Dolph Lundgren or other things going on. Like, which movies would you recommend alien-wise and whatnot? But yeah, that's going to be it, folks. I don't really go long on these, 30 to 45 minutes at most. Stay tuned again tonight, 8 to 8:30 or 8:30, most likely 8 p.m. with Mara on her channel, Jade Shadow, for Home Alone 2. I'm still trying to get back into 1,600 subs because YouTube literally took a chunk of subs off of my sub count. So yeah, that sucks. So if you guys can help there too, it will be awesome. Thank you to Vanya, Junebug, NB Geeks, Zathra, and many others for showing up. Y'all are freaking awesome. I will be possibly on the Barroom podcast. If there is a Barroom podcast tomorrow, I will most likely be on it. Also tonight, if you can't make Mara's stream, check out the Ambassadorial Wing. He will be talking his thoughts on Sonic 3. I love that movie. So definitely give the Ambassadorial Wing a sub and shout out. Anyway, folks, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you all on the next one. Until then, stay humble.
Are you done? Are you done?